Everyone, welcome to Economics Wala family. First video we discuss about future of Indian economics. Part 1 we discuss about pre-British period during British rule, state of Indian economy during pre-British period, organization and structure the British period, consequence of economics, etc. we discuss in the first video part 1. If anyone cannot be see in this part 1 video, then they can watching first video then come to next video. In this topic we will discuss about in this video we will discuss about decay of handicrafts under British rule and three sector Indian economy, three sector: primary, secondary, tertiary sector. These are covers in these videos. Okay, first we discuss decay of handicrafts under British rule. How to decay handicrafts under British rule? What are the reasons that are we discuss? Firstly, handicrafts. What do you mean by handicrafts? Pre-British periods, our Indian peoples are making various various things like sari, etc. in hands ହସ୍ତତନ୍ତ୍ରୀ ଶିଳ୍ପ ଥିଲା that's are the they making sari and other traditional okay. So these are handicrafts machines or handicrafts industries, but at a time at the time when British rule in India, then the British rule handicaps are decay means decrease. The value of handicraft decrease. It means that value of handicrafts made things or handicraft made things are value decreases. Okay, so prior to British rule, handicrafts in India enjoyed worldwide reputation of excellence and quality. Prior to British rule, handicrafts in India enjoyed worldwide reputation and excellence and quality. But British rule handicraft decay because following reason. These are the reason that are decay by decrease by value decrease the handicrafts. First reason, discrimination of tariff policy. Discriminatory tariff policy. What is discriminatory tariff policy? Discriminatory tariff policy was pursued. It allowed tariff-free export raw material from India. Tariff-free export raw material from India and tariff-free import of British industrial product into India, but heavy tax or heavy duty. That's are some things. Heavy tax or heavy duty on the export of Indian handicraft product, so that losing Indian handicraft their domestic as well as foreign market. It led to decay of Indian handicrafts. It means that when our raw materials Indians raw materials are going to British, then tax. When Indian raw material are going to British, then tariff are free. tariff are free, no tariff, no quota, no etc. These are pura free. Or second things, when British machine made product or finished product that entry into the Indian market, that also import duty or not, there is a free import duty. No person can made the import duty. Okay, there are free, so that British are freely export, freely import, no freely export, freely import. There is no restriction. In this way, they are drain of wealth, or they are exploitation of Indian peoples. And but the things were that when Indian handicraft things that are exports in British market as well British and domestic market, then Britisher heavy tax imposed on the handicraft product. Handicraft product, they are impose heavy taxes, heavy tax system they are imposed, so that the majority of the people majority or peoples are disadvantaged to use the handicraft product, because they are impose heavy duty. Okay, these are the discriminatory tariff policy. This is called discriminatory tariff policy. I hope you will be understand. Okay, then move with second second point, competition from machine made product. Machine made product from Britain were Machine made product from Britain were low cost product and give to give a top competition to handicap product in India. Also, machine made product outstanding quality of Indian handicap product, so that Indian craftsmen their enterprises are were stopped. Second thing was that the machine made product from Britain. When machine made product from Britain to enter in Indian market, then low cost, so that people are attractive to buy at that product. People are attracted to buy that product and use. And there is a top competition Indian handicraft production. There is a top competition between Indian handicraft product and Britain machine made product, top competition, so that people also prefer, because Britain product are low cost, so and outstanding quality, low cost and outstanding quality. So everyone generally thinks that anything that are the better quality and low cost, every person can also prefer at that things. Okay, so that Britain products also some things, or Indian handicraft product cost, high cost, no matter quality better, but high cost, so that people are cannot be affordable at that handicraft. Okay, because machine made product are low cost, that are the reason to decay the Indian handicraft, that are the reason. The third reason, new pattern of demand. New pattern of what? New pattern of demand. New pattern of demand is means that owing to impact of British culture, when Britisher are come to India and rule, Britisher Britisher impose their culture in Indian peoples. Means that when Britisher come to India, their culture also come to Indian people, saw Britisher culture saw and attractive to, they are also used to British culture, affect British culture. So new class emerged in India, which was need to adopted Western lifestyle, because Britisher lifestyle people, Indian people saw, and they are also adapted to Western lifestyle in Britisher, so that their demand or change, their demand changed, their demand pattern, the pattern of demand change against the Indian handicraft product and favor of the British product. In this process, and in this process Indian handicraft also decay. Okay. Next we movement of second topic, occupational structure of population during British rule. During the British rule, what are the occupation structure? Occupation structure that are discussion. Occupations can be divided into three sector. Occupation can be divided into three sector: primary sector, secondary sector, and tertiary sectors. Okay. Primary sectors includes, it includes such economic activity which are related to agriculture, animal husbandry, forestry, fishery, horticulture, mining, quarrying, etc. See, people, these are the most important point. Okay, you remember in these things, because I know that the I know that this type of question came to exam. Question will come, suppose mining and quarrying. There are two examples given, and which sector are these? Which sector are these? Answer will be primary sector. Okay. So every point you will be understand, and these are the most important point. Okay. It animal husbandry, horticulture, agriculture, fishery, mining, quarrying, these are the primary sectors. Okay. And in 1901, 71.8% population was engaged in the various primary activities. In 1901, in the century of 1901, various peoples are engaged. 71.2%, 71.8% population was engaged in various primary activities. And 1951, 72.8% population also engaged in primary sector. Okay. Then move on secondary sector. It includes manufacturing industries. These are the manufacture sector. Secondary sector also called manufacture sector. Okay. And manufacturing sectors, manufacturing industries, village and cottage industries, construction, these are the include in secondary sectors. Okay. In British period, secondary sectors was almost stagnant means stable, neither it means stable, nor increase, neither increase nor decrease, it was will stable. Okay. Secondary sector stable. In 1901, only 12.5% population was engaged in secondary sector. In 1951, only 10% population was engaged in secondary sector. Then third, tertiary sector. Tertiary sector also called service sectors. Tertiary sector also called service sector. It also includes trade, commerce, transport, storage, communication, and also other service like banking, insurance, etc. These are the things that are included in tertiary sectors. During during the British rule, service sector was very backward. During British rule, tertiary sector was very backward. Okay. In this last point, I made a important fact that Dadabhai Naroji, you know Dadabhai Naroji. Dadabhai Naroji is the most important person. Everyone know Dadabhai Naroji, most important person. He is the first person who is the estimated national income or per capita income in India. First time he was He was the none other than only one person, only one man, who is the estimated by national income and per capita income 1867 and 68. He written a book, the British of on sorry. He written a famous book on British rule. On British rule, he written a famous book, and he also written a Drain of Wealth. Also written famous book. Okay, I hope this video you will be helpful, and you think that the you think this video helpful and you enjoy, then you can like and subscribe this channel. Okay, bye. I stop here, and next video we will next topic or discuss about next video. Okay, uh, Jai Hind, goodbye.